Hello everyone, welcome back to Fellowship of Geekdom. I am Ben, the head geek, I guess, and with me, I think it's Mr. X. Is that right?
That is absolutely correct.
How you doing, Mr. X?
I'm feeling quite wonderful, Sir Ben. I've traveled the world many different ways and at many different times, but here I've come by to stop and discuss this new house that was built, a house of dragons.
Oh, damn it was a great episode from start to finish. I keep saying it every week, but this show keeps getting better and better. How are your overall feelings about the show so far, Mr. X?
So far, my feelings about this show, it's that it's absolutely one of the most well-written things that I've ever seen gracing our screens, our small screens, or if you're able to get the 70-inch or the 80-inch in your house, well, you've got your own mini big screen. But however you watch this show, you cannot take your eyes off these characters, whether you're on a laptop, maybe even on your cellular device, and you just cannot take your eyes off of Rhaenyra, Daemon, Viserys, Alicent, Otto Hightower, any one of these individual characters, they all draw you in so well, so perfectly. The writing is so complex and yet ever so beautiful. The dialogue is incredible, and the mythologies, it's all interesting, all engaging for those who are fans of the fantasy realm.
Now, this, I was telling you off camera, Mr. X, that last night's episode, a lot happened without a lot happening. How do you feel about that?
I completely agree with the statement of there's a lot happening without really a lot happening, and I think that that is done through the skill of the dialogue, the skill of the tension, and that's what one of the story points. We know where these characters are. We know what points of time that they're in. We know how their relationships have worked, and so for things to be expounded on and built up in this episode, I think that even with no action, you can still tell a great story just among the dialogue because of the relationships and the tensions that we know.
And we would be remiss if we didn't bring up all the incredible, award-worthy acting in the show. From Patty Constantine to Matt Smith to all the others. How do you feel about the acting?
Honestly, in this last episode, you absolutely nailed it on the head with Patty Considine. He deserves something for this performance as Viserys, especially in this last episode. You can see the pain, the weight of the world, the stress that this time and tension has taken upon on him. I mean, he lost an eye, a cheek is missing. He's really decaying, and he's dying, and it's just a man who wants to see his family whole again. And I mean, when you come from or not even when you come, but when you deal with certain things, even in your own lives as people, right? I think that what this show is able to do is find the relatability in that, people have families that are like this, people who feel this way about their own. It's like, I want us to be able to come together and just sit down. And it's just beautiful how they do it. The storytelling, even though fantastical, still is able to hit hard at home for plenty of viewers. And I think that's what great TV does. I think that's what great movies do.
Well, let's get into the show. Let's get into this episode. It opens up. We see Viserys. He's being taken care of. His whole family is coming together. He tells Arnold Hightower he wants to have a family dinner. What did you think about these opening scenes?
Well, I thought it was very hard to watch Viserys in this condition. Um, like I said, seeing the decay and the wear and tear on his body, it's really brutal to watch. They keep giving him milk of the poppy. He's like, no, I don't want this. I don't need it. It's clouding my mind. I want to be able to function and operate as myself for just one more day. And it's like he knows his time is coming. But he wants what he wants, that final request. And like the scene with him in bed and Rhaenyra is trying to talk to him, I thought that was really heartbreaking. Because like he can barely say anything. He's not really all there. And Rhaenyra is just struggling to get through to him.
And you got to love that scene where she introduces her father to his grandchildren, basically. These two little kids. And you can, and you're right, it's hard to see, right?
Mm-hmm. Aegon and Viserys.
Right, his namesake.
You know, do you find it interesting that in these families, they try to keep certain names going in continuous fashion?
Dude, I'm not going to lie. These names are so confusing. There's three, three or four that I know by heart, but everybody else, I couldn't tell you. Like, I couldn't tell you all the kids' names. Can you?
Let me see. So there's Aemond, there's Aegon, there's other Aegon, uh, Jaceres, Lucerys, Baela, Layla, uh, Joffrey, and I think that may be all of them.
Well, you did better than me, Mr. X, because after Viserys, after Rhaenyra, after Daemon, after Otto Hightower, and after Alicent, I can't tell you. Or maybe Christian Cole. Yeah, and Christian Cole. Those are all only names I know by heart. I'm going to have to. I'm going to have to learn all the kids' goddamn names.
I'm
But
telling you, this is why you must have eyes everywhere to watch from every corner of the universe.
I guess I have to have my own set of little moons, like how.
You
Oh
must.
God, what is his name in Game of Thrones?
Lord Varys the spider.
Yes, thank you. How he had little moons. I needed some moons of my own.
And this man, you shall become not only Ben the prophet, Ben the builder, Ben the head geek, but Ben the spider. You have an interconnecting web of different individuals to gain knowledge from.
Yeah, me, and call me the amazing Spider-Man. Alright, well, the episode opens, the episode continues,
Mhm.
and the one, the sea snake's sister-in-law and the sea snake are still arguing over the phone. And Allison and Nira and everybody's still arguing in the big throne room. And then all of a sudden, the doors open up. In comes Viserys. He's walking to the throne like a badass, saying, "Yes, I mean, all you guys are fighting, but I'm here, the goddamn king of the what's that? The king of the
uh,
location, king of the
Dragonstone.
Dragonstone." And you see him walking slowly, getting closer and closer to the throne. And then all of a sudden, somebody helps him. He's hesitant at first, but then accepts when he realizes it's Damon offering his hand to help him up to the throne. What did you think about this scene?
Actually, forgive me. I meant to say King's Landing, not Dragonstone.
King's Landing, thank you.
Yes. The scene I thought was powerful, as you said, badass. I felt that there was a lot of badassery going on as soon as Viserys walked through. And I mean, clearly the pain. He's limping. He's just making his way to that throne, and I think that scene was symbolic of how hard it was for him to be king. It was just a constant uphill climb with nothing but pain and anguish weighing him down while securing his seat. And in his final moment of taking upon that throne, he's like, listen, I will be here and I will rule on this. Why are we going through this again after I already said what I said? I'm like, that's authority. There you go, Viserys. I thought the whole scene was brilliant. I loved when Damon walks up to actually help him, and there was really no words exchanged. It was just the look that was given between the both of them, and they both in that moment knew, like, obviously this is my brother. I'm gonna help you, no problem, and he did. So I loved the tension of the whole scene, and I know you want to get into the different debates next.
Right, and that get into it because the sea snake and Allison and Rhaenyra, they're all fighting, and the tension keeps rising and rising, and the sea snake it calls everything out about Rhaenyra and her children and Allison and her children, and he's talking all this shit about Rhaenyra, and King had that enough. He had, you better not know, I will have your tongue. And maybe right before the moment where the sea snake could have said anything, strike Damon decapitates him. What did you think about that scene?
I just thought, like, it caught me very much off guard. Because when Vayman, or his name is Vayman, right? Yes. Vayman's making his arguments, making his cases, and then he turns, disrespects Rhaenyra, calls her a whore, says her children are bastards, even though, I mean, we know that they are, but
Well,
still.
that wasn't Damon. That was Sea Snake, wasn't it?
No, his brother, Vayman, I think that's his name.
Okay. Okay. My bad. My bad.
Oh, all good. The sea snake, though, I am concerned about the sea snake. They said he's still living, but what was the? Do you remember the exact nature of the injury that he received?
No, I don't remember, but I remember the wife saying it's been almost 6 years, if not longer, since she saw him, right?
Yeah, I think he was off at war in the
Yeah.
Stepstones.
No, the truth is, we really don't know if he's alive or dead. What do you think?
I hope he's alive. He's such a great character, and definitely one of my favorites. He just brings another intensity to the scenes that he's in.
Yeah, he is. I mean, it adds drama if he's still alive, but I don't know if he is, to be honest. But what did it, how, let me ask you this
Mm.
decapitation of that guy, how does that compare to Ned Stark in all the way back in Game of Thrones season 1, 2?
This one was much more brutal and used a death featured more ferocity because of the disrespect and how far he was willing to go. And that it was like, yeah, he's unhinged. He can't really be trusted. So I liked that in the show. I'm sorry, hold on. 1 second, Ben.
Yeah, everything okay?
Yeah, I just heard something. Hang on really quickly.
Okay. So,
Okay, all good. Um,
okay.
so I like I said, I hope that we see Corliss again. I hope he's alive. Great character. He should definitely. Maybe he'll be like how Viserys is. I don't know, but we don't know the nature of the injury. I think they said he fell. Well, he fell off the boat or something, hit his head. Maybe I don't recall.
Maybe he has amnesia and can't remember who he is.
Hmm. Man, and this is why we voted him in as head geek. The man's got the man's got charm. He's got jokes. Make Ben Rayner king in the North.
That's me. I am your king. So that happens, and then we go into a dinner scene with the whole family, and you can feel that tension. What are your thoughts about this epic and amazing scene?
So the dinner scene I thought was very spectacularly well done. I really loved how they show that Eamon is definitely going to be someone to not be trifled with, especially in that speech that he gave. And I loved the whole round table of speeches that was going on there. You had Rhaenyra go first. Allison made her toast. Then Viserys did, and finally shut Aegon up. I was like, perfect, thank you. And then Aemon decides to take up for his brother and propose one last final toast, and then goes with the whole thing of, three handsome, young, strong boys. I'm like, wow. Yeah, he really went for the throne on that one.
Well, hold on for a second, because you forgot before Allison and before Rhaenyra, Viserys probably gives the speech of the night.
Most definitely.
And he takes off the little back thing, and you see he kind of looks like Two-Face right now. You put it in a geeky comparison. Wouldn't you
I
say
can see that.
that?
I can see that. It's right
What
down the
did you
middle.
think? I'm sorry?
You're saying it's right down the middle.
What did you think of his speech?
His speech, I thought, was very powerful, very moving, because he's right. They have been fighting for years, and they have not let up off of each other, not one bit. But if everyone's interest is in trying to better the family, then why don't they actually try to do things to better the family? It's not like just throwing someone up there and voting them in and slapping them to be king. Is it? No, 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 no. You need someone who has the qualities, who's determined to. And I think that Viserys, those moments, like, people are wondering, is Viserys a good king? I would say yes. I would say yes. He tries to keep peace as much as possible, but the family, they always find something else, and all he wants to do is mend those broken bridges.
I would say he's a good king, but he get a lot of shit flung onto him.
Oh yes, yes. The short
Uh,
end of the stick.
you wanted to say something?
Oh no, no, no. I was just saying, like, the short end of the stick,
Oh.
dealt a bad hand of cards. Yeah.
So, like you said, everybody gave this speech. Everybody seemed happy. And then eye patch guy, he goes off. You can tell throughout the dinner he gets more and more tense until he finally snaps. What did you think about this moment?
I genuinely felt fear.
Yeah. Yeah,
Genuinely
me
felt
too.
fear. Yeah. Because he was just, you cannot fool with him. You cannot fool with him. And I mean, he means business. I was also wondering this too. If they're all supposed to look so young, how did it look like he's this much older than them already?
I don't know.
You know, I mean, not a
Yeah,
bad choice of an actor. It's just like they only aged 6 years.
maybe he had a growth spurt. You don't know. Maybe he ate all his vegetables. Maybe he took a little HGH. You don't know.
That's true. Maybe he ate the heart-shaped herbs.
Yeah. Oh, maybe. Maybe he got a little Captain America serum.
Okay. If only Milka Poppy could do that.
So, yeah, he gives a great speech. Everyone starts to flip out. The king gets weaker and weaker. He goes to his bed, and then Alice goes to him. And I missed this, but I was watching something, and it was brought up to me. Was he being poisoned by her?
Say that one more time, Ben.
Was he being poisoned by Allison?
Uh, I don't think so. Not purposefully.
Okay.
Not purposefully, I don't think. But wait a minute, though. You know what? You bring up a good point, and I'm gonna tell you why. It's quick, but notice this. There's a scene when before they went down to dinner, and Otto Hightower was staring right at him, watching him while he's sitting up in pain. And at one point, he gives like a slight smile. So
Yeah,
it could.
okay. Yeah. I'm not on the assumption that he was poisoned slowly every day. What do you think of this enlightenment?
I think. Hmm. Here's the problem, though, right? Remember when Rhaenyra they're talking about at the table, and she's like, she says what she says about Alicent, and Alicent, says, you'll be a good queen. I just think it's messed up how Rhaenyra sang praises of Alicent being queen, and yet Alicent could slowly be poisoning Viserys over the years, just obviously disproving the loyalty that she had to him.
Well, that shows you. She playing the long con. She was playing the long con with him,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Which makes you even more evil than we even thought about.
she's not to be the one to mess with. I think this whole story truly is going to come down between two kings. I mean, two queens at war.
Oh, hell yeah. I mean, we really headed into a civil war that is going to be brutal, man. And on either side, you have Damon and the eye patch guy
I
going
forget
head
his
to head.
name. Mm-hmm.
Look, you saw a brief second last night. They should have looked. Like, they know what's up, those two.
Oh yeah,
And I think we're going to see some really incredible action coming up soon. Yeah, that wrap up the ending of the episode. The episode ends with Viserys in a really gruesome death. What did you think about this?
Viserys' death. Um, it was a painful one. I didn't cry or anything, but I definitely did feel the hurt because all he's been trying to do is keep everyone afloat and on board. And it became clear that it seems that nobody wants that as
Well,
much as he's willing to fight for his family.
let's not forget, before he left the dinner table, the last thing he saw was everybody having a good time and everybody seemingly being on the same page finally.
That's true.
It was in there after he left the room we started see the cracks in the armor with her family.
I think, you're absolutely right, and I'm glad that he got to go out on that type of note. Like, you get to see your family at least be decent uh, to each other for a very long time. And even Allison was ready to have Rhaenyra, can't even speak right, to have Rhaenyra have her own like wing or something.
Like,
Yeah, she was prepared to because of the circumstances and the situation that they're in, and that can either be the best thing ever or the worst. And I'm just hoping that Rhaenyra still can keep her guard up around Alicent and not allow her to be manipulated.
well, there's 2 more episodes left this season. How do you think it's going to end up? Any guesses?
That's a great question. How will it end? You know what? Hmm,
Is your limit correct?
still here, buddy. I don't know what's this connection. There we go. It's better now. Yep, I'm here,
Okay.
buddy.
Alright, good. Is there any predictions about the next 2?
Um, that's a great. I haven't even. What do I think? I'll tell you what. Aemond is not done with his antics. I think there may be a clash between him and Damon at some point. Uh, I think that Rhaenyra and Alicent are going to have a few long conversations. Maybe they have their moments where things can look good between them, and then something else happens that causes them to drop a wedge deeper in their relationship. Maybe another incident with the kids. Could be something that the small council, maybe the planning of the funeral. However, there's definitely going to be some conflict still between them. I think that Otto Hightower is definitely going to be the continued puppet master. He is the Littlefinger of this show.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, he is.
Um, what else? Well, I mean, that's all I have at this moment right now. What do you think? What are your predictions?
I think the shit is about to go down between Allison and Rhaenyra, Damon, and I think you're right. I think the next 2 are going to be very action-packed. I can't wait to see what happens. This show keeps getting better and better. Every week I'm saying this is the best episode yet, and you know what? I'm not lying every week.
Oh yeah,
I, I, I think it was Dawn in a group chat or somebody that said this first season is better than Game of Thrones season 1. And I think I agree with that. How about you?
I don't disagree. As much as I love the first season of Game of Thrones, I think this season has just gone to show that even with there not being much action taking place, the dialogue alone can be enough to carry your show because it's smart, it's witty, it gets to the point, um, and it's just different.
Yep.
The tension it's just different, man, and I love it for that.
I think it's a little bit more mature. Okay, will you agree with that?
Um, I don't know because there was a lot of sex in Game of Thrones, but I think. Or do you mean in terms of thematic elements or?
Yeah, the manic element.
Okay, then I would say as far as like the way it's written and the structure.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, no, definitely you're right. More mature. I could definitely see that.
I mean, don't get me wrong, it's not like Game of Thrones is like a show for kids. I mean,
Hmm.
probably is definitely mature. Well, if that is like rated, oh, this might be NC-17, or if that's PG-13, this might be rated R. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Mm.
hey, I can't wait. And you know what? With the success of this show, I am willing to put money on
Uh-oh, we got
my
ourselves a wager.
by April of next year. We'll get a confirmation
Hmm.
of the Jon Snow show.
The head geek walking out on a limb here, throwing his hat in the ring. Interesting. A Jon Snow show being
They're,
announced.
they're, they're already talking about it, man. They're already talking about it.
Right. So,
And this show is so successful. I think they're getting to the point where it might be stupid if they're not to do it.
hmm. Man, I tell you, bro. This is the best thing on TV right now.
So yeah. And you know what? I'm really liking Andor. I I know I'm in the minority and I'm really liking She-Hulk. But again, I know I'm in the minority with that one. But yeah, House of Dragon is clearly the best show on TV right now. Hands down.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I
So,
still need to get into Yellowstone, but right now, House of the Dragon is ruling everything.
absolutely. So, Mr. X, as we wrap up, tell all the good people who are watching this where they can find you every
You
week.
can find me slaughtering James Bond. But if I'm not there, you can find me doing telepathy, trying to get to Eric Lensher. Haha. See what I did there? I am the
Yeah,
professor.
I see you. I see my man.
Oh, and you can find me on my YouTube channel, The Midnight Cinema. You can find me on Instagram at The Midnight Cinema 41, on Twitter at The Outlawed Mime. You can find me in the Facebook group, Multiverse of Geekdom. I'm here every Friday with Ben on the weekly Geekdom. Every Sunday for Geekdom Uncut with Ben, Don, and sometimes Joe. And then I'm here on the Fellowship of Geekdom here on Mondays, where all four of us come together and talk House of the Dragon and Lord of the Rings. So that's where you can find me. And yeah.
And you guys can find me at my Twitter, man_radio. Like every Monday right here on Fellowship of Kingdom, every Tuesday on the Kingdom Initiative, every Wednesday on Jedi Academy, every Friday on the Weekly Kingdom, every Saturday on Kingdom Uncut. You guys can also find me over on the Northern Entertainment Group every Tuesday on Rewind That Tape and every Saturday morning on the Northern Countdown. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in for me and my special guest, Mr. X.
Yes, of course, of course. You know, sometimes you have to burden yourself with the dark before you enter the light.
Oh, are you in pain now? Okay, cool.
Yes,
Very
thank you.
cool.
The fire
Very.
rises, my friend.
I should have known that. I should have known that.
Wait, I do have a question for you before we go, sir.
Yeah, well, what can I do for you, Mr. Payne?
How did you feel about the breaking of the bat's body? What I mean is, did you actually enjoy The Dark Knight Rises?
I'm sorry to say it was not my favorite Batman movie.
Interesting. Then we shall break your soul and spirit.
But, Mr. Payne, Did you know who he is in the beginning of that movie?
Tell me.
Littlefinger himself from Game of Thrones.
My God, you're absolutely right. He's the interrogator.
Yes, he
You've
is.
just opened my eyes, lad. Mercy will be upon you. Here's
Very
Mr.
good.
X.
Very good. Great, Mr. X.
That was
Everyone,
wonderful.
we'll see you next week. Have a good one. And yeah, have a good one, everyone.
Good night, guys.